You're the friend that's always there, the strong one that everyone relies on. Everyone comes to you, but they don't stop to think, do you need something? You're the one that is the foundation, the pillar that everyone leans on, but nobody checks on you. And then over time, things start to shift, right? You don't feel as much. Maybe you don't react the same. Things that used to move you, maybe your passions, they don't move you as much anymore. And then you start to wonder, why? Am I being cold? Am I losing who I am? Am I changing? Well, no, not at all. You're not losing who you are. You're not losing what you haven't protected, because what you're doing is you're carrying around everybody's burdens. And without the boundaries, or perhaps we did at one time have boundaries, but they kept growing and growing and growing. And all of a sudden, the area of our boundaries are overflowing with all kinds of things, all kinds of other people's problems, traumas, cares. And now we're starting to leak a little, starting to deflate. And maybe it's a slow leak, like a balloon. You have a slow leak maybe, and it just slowly deflates. Maybe like one of those, helium mylar balloons, the silver ones that just kind of slowly deflate over time. They're still floating around. Maybe they're full when you first get one, and it just goes to the ceiling. And then over time, those silver mylar helium balloons, they start to deflate, right? They're a little cushy. You can squish them, but they're still kind of floating around, but they're not as full, and they don't go to the ceiling. And then they get a little bit less, but they're still floating around, hovering above the ground, right? Maybe you're one of those, barely hovering above the ground, still floating, but you're barely above the ground. But then it gets to the point where, what can you do? Because at some point, you're going to hit the ground. Or perhaps you're going to be like a balloon where a pin pops it and you just explode.